Stephen Lloyd.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Chris. Chris was very kind there in saying that anyone who lives in Eastbourne needs no introduction. I've been going around and saying hello to a few people here who don't live in Eastbourne, and I could see the look in their eyes saying, who the hell are you? Never mind. Anyway, listen, well, hands up anyone here who doesn't live in Eastbourne. Well, welcome to Eastbourne. You see, not only do we provide the sunshine, but equally Michelle's going to give everyone a cup of coffee. Listen, it's great being here, it really is. For those of you who live in Eastbourne, you'll know what I'm going to say. For those who don't, ask the people in Eastbourne and they will tell you it's true. One of the things about this town is that we all know as a country we went through, we were going into a terrible recession a few years ago. I was in business for 25 years before I went into politics, and so I knew what was coming down the track. And what I was very determined to do was prioritise the economy and the business of the town. And the reason for that, A, it was a bad recession, and B, I knew that if we really focused on business, really focused on confidence, really focused on these things like networking, really focused on pushing our town forward as hard and as vigorous as we could, not only would we come through the recession, but we would come through with our confidence flying. And I guarantee you, folks who live outside Eastbourne, that our town is now in a better position than frankly I've ever known it. We are absolutely set to fly. And the key thing with that is that would not have happened without the business side. That's not me soft soaping, it's absolute profound belief I have. And the reason being is that when things are difficult, you sort the confidence, you keep the confidence of a town, a business, a family, or even a nation up. But the other thing is that when things are difficult, you focus on the small businesses and the networking and the opportunities harder than ever. And the reason for that, something I learned many, many times over the years when I was in business before getting to politics, is there's something that small business, SMEs, micros, the whole kit and caboodle bring to a town or an area when they're really fired up. They bring energy. Don't understand it, don't know why. Often the public sector will bring hundreds of millions and squillions of pounds, and all power to it. And we can't live without a good public sector, but the most exciting, most interesting thing to me about small businesses is they provide that energy. And in Eastbourne alone, last year, I think it was either last year or the year before, we had more new businesses starting than the previous 15. We had more female directors and owners of companies than any other town in the UK.
Yes.
Yeah. But all of that is part of this whole process that business provides opportunity, aspiration, but I keep banging on about it, provides us energy. And I'm convinced, absolutely convinced on my mother's grave, bless her, that one of the reasons that Eastbourne's coming through well, coming through successfully, coming through confidently, is the role that businesses and small businesses have made in our town. So thank you for all those of you who aren't in Eastbourne, for those of you in Eastbourne, for those of you who aren't in Eastbourne, move to my town. It's had a great opportunity. Now, 4N networking. A key part of that is networking. A key part of small businesses, and by the way, I'm the FSB parliamentary champion, and I spent a number of years running South London for the FSB, so I may have been in a corporate background for years, but I understand small and micro. And one of the challenges with small and micros is you're working 7 days a week, it's your dream, it's your passion, but you kind of quite easily sometimes get into a place where you can't see the wood for the trees, because you've just focused on your plumbing business, your graphic design business, your whatever, 24 hours a day. And that can be hard work. And it can be a challenge, it can be frustrating. Sometimes you can make elementary mistakes that you just know that if someone who is a friend of yours or a colleague who's a little bit wiser, a little bit more experienced, they could say, don't do that. Because if you do that, this will happen. But you're so busy, 7 days a week, pounding away, 20 hours a day, whatever. I know what it's like running a small business. And the advantage of 4N and good networking groups like it is that not only does it mean that you can meet a lot of other businesses that you can cross-sell to, because that is important when you're a small business. Not only does it mean you can meet a lot of other small businesses that you can network with and share business cards and opportunities, but actually you can also meet a lot of other small businesses who can help and guide you avoid some of the very obvious mistakes. I promise you that's true, because I've seen it hundreds and hundreds of times. So I'm delighted to open this today. I'm delighted it's the first. I'm delighted to support Chris and his team in running this whole thing.